we were sure about what these teams are going to do.
Kind of the trajectory of where this season could potentially go.
Love for Maui?
Yeah, I'm going to go back and brew it.
Back!
We have no idea who Michigan is, who Notre Dame is.
Cardell Jones. I'm not here to play school.
20 years from now, I'll be right here on a bar ladder because this thing is like legit.
Welcome to a packed edition of the Varsity Brews Podcast.
Let's go.
The usual cast of characters plus some new friends here, as always, to get you started on football and beer and now nutrition.
Man, it's like a perfect combo.
Listen, buddy. We got to get the reps in now. There's no excuses.
Let's do it.
The Varsity Brews Podcast is brought to you, of course, by Westwind Brewery since day one.
Yeah.
Can't thank you enough. And, of course, our new sponsors, Legacy Performance. Guys, hello, good afternoon, and thanks so much for being with us.
You're welcome. It's great to be here.
Awesome. Nate and Michael.
Yep, Michael. Yep.
Yeah, good to see you guys. We're going to talk more with you here. Legacy Performance based out of Elkhart, Indiana. It's local, but it's shipping all over the nation. You need some protein.
The heart.
You need some chocolate protein, I think, buddy.
Love it. I love it.
And, of course, Rustic.
After his 8-minute workout.
Hey,
This is an ongoing joke.
But you got him into doing cold plunges.
I am plunging every day.
He still plunges
I'm
every
still
day, but
plunging.
I can't get him to work out.
What do you guys think?
Aren't your workouts like 30 minutes now, though?
Mine are like 20 to 30. I told him 8 is all he needed. Just give me 8 minutes.
Too much soccer in my lifetime.
And, of course, Rustic Rocks. Gabe at Rustic Rocks, he's busy. He's doing a Notre Dame project this summer. So shout out to Gabe, who's a regular here at Westwind Brewery as well. So, guys, welcome in. Just a short introduction here. If you want to get on the mic here and just introduce yourselves and kind of what Legacy Performance is all about.
Yeah, so I'm Nate. I'm one of the owners of the company. This is my brother-in-law, Michael.
Don't be afraid to get to the mic.
Yeah, so we're an all-natural supplement company. Been in business for about over a year. We started this company because we were kind of tired of what we were seeing in the fitness industry, the supplement company, the supplement industry specifically. A lot of these companies are just putting stuff in the supplements that don't really need to be there, that really don't have a benefit, just fluff. And we really got tired of also the labels on these supplements, a lot of proprietary blends, that kind of thing. Not really know what you're even taking in these products. So
Yeah, when we started it, I told my brother, Matt, he's another partner in the company, and it was, when I talked to him a little bit about it, it was like, when you're formulating this, like, what are you putting in it? Like, what's each ingredient? What's the purpose of it? Is it beneficial or is it just a filler? If it's a filler, take it out. We want to be as clean as possible and natural as possible.
What was the impetus for you guys? Like, what kind of sent you over the edge of like, listen, like, we have to do this? Like, being from Elkhart too. I mean, at a family like yours, like, why was it important for you to start the business?
Well, number one is the customer, right? We care about having a relationship with the customer, not just being someone who cares about a company that cares about the bottom line. It's all about dollars. Education to us is a big deal. We want to educate people on like he said, what's in the product and why it's necessary and the benefit it has for your body, for your workout, for your post-workout recovery, pre-workout, that kind of thing.
Yeah, the education portion, I think. I personally realized, and as a team, we were like, there's an education portion to this because you start looking at the ingredients on the back, and it's like, people are like, well, it's just what the mainstream supplement companies have in it, and I want to take that. It's like, well, those oxides and different fillers, it's really not healthy for the gut. So, but them not realizing it and us kind of like going out there like, hey, we gotta show, what you should and shouldn't have in your supplements that you're taking, especially as like a dietary supplement being a day-to-day, what you're putting in your body day-to-day. So,
well, guys, welcome to the team. Great to have you on the Varsity Brews Podcast. I hope your first conversation with us about Notre Dame football is a good one. First of all, we got to find out, what college do you root for here, on a year-to-year basis?
I bleed blue and gold, baby. So.
Oh boy, here we go. Here we go.
Football? Oh, yeah, that's Notre Dame.
Notre
Sure.
Dame?
Oh, yeah.
And do you have pro teams that you?
Bro, I'm Chicago through and through. So, Bears, Cubs,
Okay.
big hockey fan,
All right.
Blackhawks.
All right. Bears too?
I'm a Bears fan. I'm not a Cubs fan, though.
Oh, we roasted the Bears last time we talked.
Well, let's-
I went in pretty hard on Caleb Williams.
Well, let's start there.
Oh, I would. Yeah.
Let's start there. What I mean, did you see his wide receiver shaking his head after the pass? I mean, that can't be what you're looking for,
Is that
right?
Keenan Allen?
Yeah, it was
shaking-
Keenan Allen who was shaking his head, and then you have the stepbrothers picture with him and who's the new guy they got from USC, or who's the Washington, the wide receiver they got from Washington. He was like a Roman or something.
yeah.
Rome.
Roma Dunze.
Yeah. And so
I know what the problem is.
What's
They're not taking Legacy Performance protein.
I mean,
you know.
we've seen what he's turned into here. So, but let's talk about the Bears. We're going to start there. Let's talk about the Bears. What has your opinion on Caleb Williams changed at all since he's been in camp, since he started?
No, I mean, and to be quite honest, I haven't thought about that guy since I talked about it. I'm thankful. I think I saw maybe 2 videos and 2 memes about how he threw, I don't know.
Was he 0 for 7? I think
It was like 6
he got
picks or
benched,
5 picks in a 7-on-7 setting.
Yeah,
And
7
of
on
course,
7,
you
0
know,
for 7. Yeah, he didn't complete a pass.
The things with those is you don't know the full context. I mean, yeah, those are some terrible numbers, but we're also talking about, rookie camp or, kind of getting your feet wet. Throw that stuff out. Just for me, once again, I still am going to say that Justin Fields is at the same level or better than Caleb Williams. So what did you
100%.
really get
It's a fair
by adding Caleb Williams to your team if you weren't going to do a complete overhaul of your offensive and defensive line? And I think that they had a decent draft.
But to be fair, you also gave him a huge compliment and compared him to
He has the potential of that talent, for sure.
Mahomes. You compared him to Mahomes.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, he has a similar skill set as Mahomes. But I think Mahomes walked into an organization that did a really nice job of building pieces around him, especially, again, offensive and defensive line. We talk about it with the Lions.
Yep.
When they finally turned the corner with that organization, it had nothing to do with drafting the best receiver, which in a few drafts that's what they did. Or they picked the best skill guy. What'd they do? It was a mentality at the top of the organization with the head coach too.
Yep.
And then it was going out there and making sure that you can protect and you can get pressure.
That's
what they've done.
Who was the quarterback before Mahomes? Do we remember? Was it Alex Smith?
Yeah, it was Alex Smith. Yeah. Yep.
So
And he wasn't a bad quarterback either.
I liked Alex Smith.
He wasn't a bad quarterback.
Okay,
but-
can I say something real
Oh boy,
quick?
here we go.
I'm going to start the fire right now.
Okay.
Might as well get the lighter out.
Is Jared Goff Alex Smith?
Oh man, why you got to go there?
Because I'm saying, like, listen, as a hardcore Lions fan, you have to know. Okay, Alex Smith was a very serviceable quarterback.
For sure.
Very serviceable.
Yeah,
Could have gotten the Chiefs to the Super Bowl. But they decided to go away from him because they weren't getting there.
Yeah.
You insert Mahomes, and all of a sudden you are not only a 2-time, 3-time Super Bowl winner, you are a perennial power, could be go down as one of the greatest teams
So-
in NFL history.
If we're still talking about the Bears, then what's the difference then between Justin Fields and Caleb Williams?
The pieces.
The pieces, I was going to say, do you think, you obviously think Fields is just as good, if not a better quarterback, but with the pieces that Caleb Williams has around him now, he's set up for more success. Do you think he's going to have more success than Fields
The coach?
did going in?
I mean, what is the difference? The experience?
Do you know what I think it is? I think it's about money. They were able to save a little bit of money.
Who, the
Well,
Bears?
they also have him for
Right?
the whole rookie contract now.
Don't you
where-
think? He had what, 1 year left on his contract?
That's not a bad point. I've never thought about that. That's a good point.
I'm just throwing it out there. That's what I do.
It's a good point.
Throw stuff out
I
there.
like that one. I could see that if you're running a business, you'd have to think about that.
Do you think the NFL is a business, Evan?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Case in point.
For sure.
So Detroit, they saving any money? No, they just threw
Why
$300 million at Jared Goff.
That one had me scratching my head though. If you're running a business,
I think they love him. You know, he kind of fits our mold. He's kind of MOTR quarterback. That's
in your heart.
He was a first-round
in
draft.
your heart.
In my heart.
In your heart.
Listen,
Jared
in your
Goff was a
heart,
first-round draft pick. Don't forget this.
in your
Before I
heart, in
answer
your
whatever
heart,
we
question
know
you're about to
in
ask
your
me.
heart, are
All right.
you taking Jared Goff in the next NFL draft to be your quarterback?
Probably
in your
not.
heart.
Probably not.
In your heart.
Yeah, probably not.
Do you regret the Matthew Stafford trade, though? Would you rather have Stafford?
I would have Stafford, yeah.
See,
yeah.
that's
That's a
what's
great
so funny
question.
because
Yeah, hey, that's a
but
great comment. It's a great comment.
Had they not made that move, they would not be in the position they are now. But if
Absolutely.
they had Stafford still with
Yeah.
the moves that they were able to make
We're
because
so
of him,
we're so under the salary cap right now that you look at the pieces that keep getting added and added and added. Hey, can I call it now? I think we
Sure, call your.
It's
whatever.
been like 12 weeks since we had a
yeah,
podcast.
yeah. No, it's
are
been
you sticking
5
with your
weeks.
same
All right.
early
I
picks?
was sick. I don't know what.
Are you sticking with your early picks
Yeah.
still?
Hey,
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you what. It's gonna be Kansas City and Detroit in the Super Bowl. There it is.
Bears fans, how do you feel about that?
I think they'll be lucky to win. the
Well,
division,
and you
honestly.
guys don't know this, but I'm a huge Packers fan.
We got a Green Bay right here to the left.
Hey,
I think another year with Jordan Love, I really.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
would pick the Packers.
Jordan Love's
we're saving a lot of money with that dude right now, and I'm hoping we can build the pieces around him. Before the Kansas City Chiefs were the Chiefs, it was the Patriot way. And before the Patriots, the Packers did it that way. And they build pieces. The coaching
I mean,
staff.
they only won like one Super Bowl in like 20 years now.
I don't want to get started on that. 2 Super Bowls in 20
Oh, sorry,
years.
2.
So is Jordan Love the future? You in? You all in?
The fully loaded question.
No, I'm not all in. Am I like 1 foot in, testing the water? Man, he had a really good, freshman campaign. What is he going to do when teams start to figure him out? That's what I want to know.
That's why they have a great coach.
Yeah, I mean,
I like that. I like
I
the
think-
combo of those two.
I don't know if he's a great coach yet either. I'm not 100% there. I'm like lukewarm on both of them. I think LaFleur's had a great first couple of years, but you also had Aaron Rodgers. You're great.
I like Matt a lot.
You do.
He was at Notre
I
Dame.
was gonna say, do you know him from Notre Dame?
Yep. Our paths crossed, and I had some great conversations. And the vibe I kind of got when he was there was this was just kind of a stopping place.
Yeah.
I could tell that there was a lot more on that plate, and it was just like, all right, I'm here for a minute, and then I'm out. But really good football mind, can be innovative, and I think that will help the progression with Love.
Yeah.
You have to stay fresh. You look at the teams that have had success over the last 3 to 5 years is even though they kind of have their bread and butter, they continue to innovate a little bit because you have to at that level because all you do is watch film and study and look at tendencies. You've got to switch those up in those big moments.
I'm also like, when is the luck going to run out for the quarterback situation with Green Bay? I mean, like to have 3 quarterbacks in 30 years. I mean, it's kind of unheard of. And again, they're keep putting out talent at the quarterback position. I'm just not 100% sold, but I think he's had a good start.
So
I would rather have him though than Caleb Williams, to be completely honest.
I'm gonna ask.
I'm just not a huge Caleb Williams fan. I saw him play last year against Notre Dame. I mean, I was right there. I just don't know under pressure, and you kind of argued with me on this point, but like I just don't know if he's learned enough yet under pressure to stand in the pocket and take his lumps and just be a decision maker on the field. Last year, for me, it did not show that against Notre Dame's defense.
Yeah, and even in the 2022 game, like Notre Dame was just missing tackles. I mean, they were in the backfield the entire time.
Right.
And
Yeah,
missed
they
tackles.
did.
That's a good point.
I don't think he was necessarily making plays. I think they were just missing tackles. So that game could have been even worse, honestly.
So my question for Evan is, Evan, are you thumbs up or thumbs down on the recruiting? Because obviously you just talked about it, but back-to-back-to-back quarterbacks. I mean, you had Brett Favre, you had
Aaron Rodgers. Yep.
and now you've got Jordan Love. To me,
forget
that's
Don
pretty.
Majkowski.
That's pretty impressive. I mean,
It is.
in today's NFL to have, is everybody bought in? Or are we giving a thumbs up or thumbs down to the recruiting staff? that brought Love in? Because I think early on you were kind of wish-washy. If it,
Oh,
go back a
I
couple
didn't like it.
podcasts.
I didn't like it.
Go back a
I
couple
didn't like
podcasts.
it
You were a
either.
little wish-washy.
Yeah.
I was not sold, so I'm not gonna.
What do the Legacy
thumbs
boys
down?
think?
I'm thumbs down for right now. I mean,
I hate all their picks. They make life miserable every year.
I don't know.
We own you.
Honestly,
Just transferred ownership to.
just look at the past, what they've done. So
Yeah.
I mean, I have faith in that Jordan Love's going to turn into what Favre did, what Rodgers did. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone thought the same thing about Rodgers when he was sitting behind Favre.
I mean,
it was a big question mark.
I just, I get why they chose Caleb Williams. I do. I mean, but I just don't know if that was the right pick. And then throwing him out there against a much improved NFC North. This is not the NFC North of last year, right? You got the Minnesota Vikings are going to improve overnight. J.J. McCarthy.
Of course,
except he can't throw a first pitch.
Let's go. That first pitch.
So bad.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Where was he at? The Minnesota
come on,
Twins
man.
game?
Do a
Yeah,
sport.
it was bad. By the way, hey, if you guys ever go to a Minnesota Twins game, there
Yep.
is a Barletta and Chris Craft booth.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
You got like VIP access?
Yeah, we do.
All right.
I'm expecting an invite.
Up,
Yeah.
up,
right.
down, up, up, down,
I haven't
down,
been
left,
there
right,
yet,
left, right,
but
BA, select, start to
If
get
you ever
in.
turn a game on, you'll see it. They call it out. It's pretty cool.
By the way, Minnesota Twins have like a cheese curd boat. I know you guys can't have that right now, but it's good, man.
I can
It's-
eat cheese. What are you talking
Cheese
about?
curd, cheese curds, cheese curds. All right, let's shift.
Isn't that just cheese and fat?
yeah?
That's what
Deep
I eat.
fried.
I eat a lot of it. I'm in.
Let's talk a little bit. Switch a little bit now to Notre Dame football, college football landscape. We were talking off air about some of the new rules around colleges paying athletes. What does that mean for some of these companies that have made a living sponsoring athletes over the last couple of years? I know there's a few in town here dealing with Notre Dame.
yes, sir.
And what's happening to these colleges now that they've got to divvy out hundreds of millions of dollars, backdating to 2016 for some of these athletes.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Is that recent?
Yeah.
I missed that one.
So essentially,
You mean to tell me I missed the cutoff?
yeah, you missed the cut. You missed the cutoff by like 10 years.
Dang it.
Cold water.
So essentially, they have to backdate and pay these players back to 2016.
Crazy.
Who decided this?
legislation.
The NCAA did?
Good,
Yeah.
good attorneys. Right?
Maybe the NCAA
So-
should just handle those back payments.
So, all right, here is the ultimate question, okay? Maybe this is not Notre Dame focused, essentially. Where does this leave the landscape of college football going into a season like we've never seen before? You have 12 teams that could possibly make a playoff, 4 home teams, right? You assume 2 of the home teams are going to be SEC teams or whatever. Maybe not, because I think it's a college. The college football playoff deemed it that if you win a conference, then you're automatically a top 4 team or something like that because of the top conferences.
Yeah, automatic bid. Yeah.
So, but Notre Dame, they're not in the conference. They had to
They got to be an
concede
at-large.
it. Yep.
Right,
So
yeah.
basically, they're in a meeting, and Jack was like, "Well, I have to concede it. You know, I can't do anything about it. We're not in a conference. I'd rather
Why
not
doesn't
be
he
in
just start his own conference and be in a conference of one?
because they don't want to be in a conference, dude. They don't.
I know that, but
I did see something too on that. The new athletic director.
Yeah, Pete Bavacqua.
talked the other day about how he's more sold now on them staying independent than he
They
was
are.
even before he took the job.
They are more staunch now, more about being independent, that this is better for their top line. This is better for them, that they're not all about the paying players and all of that, even though they have to now.
Can I ask the question, though, why?
Why what?
It's a 3-letter word. Why? I mean, I would have loved to see Notre Dame join the Big Ten. That's where I would have wanted them. Any other conference, I would, they make most sense. They're Midwest. Evan, do you agree, disagree?
Evan, would you like to have played in the Big
well,
Ten?
I'm just trying to think I'm trying to think of the pros and cons of now with the landscape the way it is.
It doesn't matter. It's a top 4 seed, right? That's it.
Top
What?
4 seed.
You get a bye. So
You
the
get a-
top-
yeah.
bye,
Right.
But then they got to play in a championship.
So they
Right, but
always
I-
have to
but-
be 5 through 8,
I'm
right?
just
So that's your
saying,
goal. It's like
you know-
don't lose more than one game.
We've had these discussions a couple of times now on strength of schedule and availability of playing games too. You know, as we move more towards what could be 2 super conferences, And, we just say SEC and Big Ten. Again, I think we posed the question, are you going to take a 10-2 Notre Dame team over an 8-4 Big Ten team? But, 4 of those losses are against top 10 or 15 teams. Meanwhile, Notre Dame's not playing a team in the top 25.
Okay, answer the question. So this year, Oregon's strength of schedule is tough.
Yeah.
I mean, they play everybody in the Big Ten, right? They're a Big Ten team now. They travel to play Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio State, all of these teams. So they probably have one of the toughest schedules in the country. Notre Dame's schedule. Notre Dame doesn't play anybody this year. I'm sorry. They play Texas A&M.
Florida State?
Touche. Yeah, so they play Florida State at home. They play Texas A&M on the road. Let's say they go undefeated. Let's say they beat Texas A&M on the road, which I don't think is going to happen because of the quarterback combo, Riley Leonard, the Duke head coach coming over. That's a tough matchup. But let's say they lose one. Do you put a Oregon team that's lost 3 ahead of a 1-loss Notre Dame team?
That's the thing is, a committee's still going to be outside of the 4 that get the. Is it then preset, or is there a committee that is selecting the at-large teams? It's a committee.
Yes.
So once again, it's going to be a broken system because it's going to come down to those calls, same as we had in the previous system leading up to the playoffs. But I guess to the point of what you guys are talking about, because I'm trying to wrap my head around for Notre Dame the pros and cons, and in this new system, it probably is a pro to be independent and with Notre Dame's national brand, the likelihood of missing the playoffs is very, very low.
Right. You're not going to be on the outside of the 12.
If you're a Notre Dame team even on the edge, say at 9-3, 10-2, I think you're in every year.
Every year. 100%.
But, again, it's still going to – so I think you're in, but is that – what are you going to do, put up a banner for getting in the playoffs? Hey, 10 years running, we were in the playoffs.
But
who cares?
But do you think how college football is now, do you think that the playing field has evened out a little bit, or do you think the top talent is going to be like, well, I'm going to Alabama? Well, I mean, everybody's paying.
Yeah,
so,
overall, I think there's more parity. And with the transfer rules, that's even some things out. But the question I would ask is, has Notre Dame elevated anything in the last 2 or 3 years? What have they done to elevate to get to that next tier?
Well, I mean, okay, so you're playing for a head coach who has connected with players. That's his big thing, right? He connects with players. If it was up to you and you were doing the college search all over again, would you play for Jim Harbaugh? Would you play for, what's his name at Georgia? Or would you play for Marcus Freeman?
Well, 2 of them have won national championships and 1 hasn't, so I'm going to pick the 2 that won the national championship.
That comes in your mind first and foremost.
Well, if you want to win, yeah.
It's interesting. No, it's interesting, though. Because
why do you think people didn't go to play for Nick Saban because they liked him?
But, yes, but also you could be the difference in winning a national championship.
Sorry, I was a 3-star. So.
Well, play along here. Come on. No, but really, like that, you would like off the bat, you would be like,
"We're gonna lead Notre Dame to glory." Every year we say it.
I mean, I say it. I've said it the last couple of years.
Class
undefeated. Undefeated. They're going undefeated this year.
How many years in a row did Notre Dame were they in the top 5 in recruiting?
Not many.
Well, the last couple of years they were.
There was a string where they were.
Yeah, like the last couple of years they were.
Top 3 recruiting
Charlie was around. Yeah.
But like, yes, in the 2010s, I think they were like 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Like they kind of like got out of that, but now they're back in the top 3. I think like perennially with Freeman.
I think he's the first Notre Dame coach to have 3 top 10 recruiting classes in a row.
Yes,
I think.
So that means this year's a big year.
What do you think about the quarterback room, out of curiosity?
Boy,
it's way deeper than it's been in a long time.
This is a great question. I can't
wait.
Another
year. I would say so.
I'm sorry.
Somebody get him a beer.
Something in the throat.
Why don't you start and then I'll
Please, yeah.
Go.
Yeah,
There we go. This is fun.
Pass the mic.
This is what we do.
The floor is yours.
This is what we do. What's funny is I'm harder on Notre Dame than anybody
Yes,
else.
I know.
Evan is
Yeah,
hard.
see, I told you
I
guys.
try to show him a little bit of love as a Michigan fan, but
I'm not saying we have that top guy that can compete for national championship. I'm talking about depth, right? With Carr coming in, and I think he looked great in the blue gold game. I don't think
I'll bring up one quick thing.
Yeah.
I threw for more yards and touchdowns than Brady Quinn did in one spring game. So,
there you go.
That's fair.
but
That's on
to
the
your
record.
point,
But I think it's
he did look good.
yeah. And then obviously Minchie, not losing Angeli or Minchie to the transfer, I think that's saying something. I think that says that they want to be here and they want to play for Freeman, in my opinion, because everybody was saying they were going to leave. One of
Yeah.
those two guys were going to leave.
Yeah.
And then obviously next year, if we can hold on to Deuce Knight, that dude is going to be a stud.
So, yeah. No, I agree with you. I think the depth is there. Here are my questions, because I have more questions than answers in this year's. Can I go? Can I?
Yeah,
All right.
you have the mic.
So, love CJ Carr. What he did, it was actually the game before the spring game. So they opened the practice up to media, and we were able to watch it was kind of like the practice of the spring game. That dude lit it up. And I think he was even better in that performance than he was in the spring game. I mean, he was connecting. He was excitable. He had the swagger. This kid was as advertised. CJ Carr is going to be the next quarterback of Notre Dame.
Do you think he jumps in Angeli as the number 2?
Well, we were talking about that. He doesn't think he's
Peanut
going to see any
butter and
starts
jelly.
this year.
Hopefully he doesn't. I hope he doesn't start.
That's what I said he would.
That's a
if
problem
the
if he
season
does.
is.
Yeah.
So here's the other thing. I don't know if Riley is the guy. And why I don't know that is because he's been injured more than he's been playing the last year and a half. That raises questions, right? So, I mean, he wasn't able to connect with his star wide receiver because he was out playing lacrosse and winning a national championship. So, he wasn't able to play with it. Now, in the summertime, they'll be able to play together. But how is Riley Leonard going to hold up? So, is he going to get injured?
How many surgeries has he had now since he's
Exactly.
been in 3?
Yep.
On that
Angeli
ankle,
is
2?
good. I like Angeli. Is Angeli a
No.
championship-winning quarterback? Okay. Then you have Minchie, who I think is a good player. I just don't know if Notre Dame is high on Minchie, right? He's in a weird spot where he's
Is he going into his third year?
yes.
Yeah.
So he's going to graduate this year.
He's going to transfer. So he's going to transfer for sure. And then you have CJ Carr. And now, all of a sudden, you have Deuce. But don't forget about the guy who won you the Gator Bowl 12 months ago. The guy who has come back and been resurrected on the football team as a wide receiver.
Vahid, can I ask a question, though?
You have all these. I mean, he could play. What did you say?
I said I think Tyler Buckner might play quarterback before CJ Carr does next
Why
year.
did Michigan not recruit CJ Carr?
They did.
Not as heavily as Notre Dame did, though.
I don't think he wanted to play because of his grandfather,
I
right?
think he wanted to
Okay.
forge his own
Well,
path.
that's the media talking. I'm asking for your opinion, and then I want to hear Evan's opinion on it. Because I think CJ Carr is going to be great.
He wanted to win championships, maybe. I don't know.
It's
I don't know. It's a little weird.
It's not NIL money, right?
Right. Not.
I don't
Okay,
know.
you're not in a conference, so we just got done talking about conference play. Why Notre Dame? That's what I want to know, and I want your insight on it.
Do you think he thought,
Because
for the last 3 years, Harbaugh's had a foot out the door. Do you think that played a role in it?
I think he wants to build his own legacy.
Finally, somebody says that. Sure, absolutely. I think it did. I like that answer. Yeah.
Legacy. I think he wanted to build his own That's what I believe.
Do it himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, his dad is synonymous with
Grandfather
Michigan.
footsteps, I
His
don't
grandfather's synonymous with Michigan.
Yeah, right.
You know, I mean, every game you play, right, are you going to be, under the shadow of, your grandfather? I don't know. I mean, it was 25 years ago, so
That's
I
what
don't
the
know.
media says. I mean, they're the pressure of playing in Michigan, your grandfather's a legendary coach, yada yada yada. But as we sit here and talk about how Notre Dame's not in a conference, and okay, so you got a borderline team that's gonna, if they're 9-3, do they get in? Independent? What's the benefits of that? Why would you go there?
Well,
that's what I'm asking.
I think you get in at 9-3.
Boy,
As long as one of the losses isn't into like a max.
Well,
score.
you have to think that the Big Ten's going to beat themselves up, right?
That's what I mean. So, we're going to learn a lot in year one on what the committee does with the at-large bids. We're going to find out, and Notre Dame's going to learn real fast. Let's say, if they run the table, obviously they're getting. They're going to get in with 10 wins. They're going to get in with 11 wins. I think that number is at 9-3.
9-2, because. Right?
They're only playing 11 games?
They're still 12.
Is it 12 games still?
12 games.
Okay, yeah, 9-3.
So,
yeah.
I think that's kind of the tweener number there is, what happens with Notre Dame at that point. And then how do the other conferences, what do they do to each other, in conference play?
Evan, do you think C.J. Carr would be better than J.J. McCarthy?
So by that you're saying, do I think that C.J. Carr will win a national championship?
Sure.
No, I don't.
That's what I was asking. It's
all right,
a fully loaded question. All right.
Okay, so let's go around the table here because I'm really interested in this.
We're spending a lot of time at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
But going into this season, that's one of the I don't think it matters who plays quarterback. Did Notre Dame upgrade this year?
So okay,
Do you think
you don't think it matters who plays quarterback
first
for Notre Dame?
with who they have?
Yeah, who's the best quarterback on the roster?
I don't know. I think they're all okay.
It's early. It's hard to tell. Yeah,
Right
it's early.
now, if you had to choose one quarterback off that roster, who would you choose? Buckner. What'd you say?
He said Buckner.
He's got the most experience, that's for sure.
Who would I pick today?
Who to start?
You got to start Riley Leonard.
Who would you start?
He can't not start.
Who would you start?
I'd start Riley.
Riley.
But, the question I pose is he better? Is it an upgrade this year from Hartman?
From last year?
You think Riley Leonard's a better quarterback?
Really?
Yeah. I think so.
Riley Leonard lost the game at Notre Dame, or against Notre Dame when he was at Duke. Hartman
to
outplayed
Sam
him
Hartman, yeah.
in that game.
Right.
When it mattered.
Right.
I don't think it's an upgrade. I think,
Oh, interesting.
okay,
So-
so all things equal, who did Notre Dame lose on the offensive side? This is why it doesn't, like when I say it doesn't matter who plays quarterback,
Audric Estime.
yeah. Do they have a receiver he can throw to?
Yeah. Jordan Faison, who was the top receiver last
They
year.
also got 2 transfers.
And 2 transfers
Again.
who look pretty good.
Don't know. Is it going to happen? Why'd they transfer? Is
Okay,
it gonna
so
work?
here's another question.
And okay, but one more thing.
Yeah.
You brought up the depth thing, and you're not wrong. Depth doesn't matter in today's college football world.
Because
At the quarterback position.
Because
Free agency every year.
Yeah, it really is a free agent.
Who cares?
Yeah.
does Notre
Does
Dame continue to do that then?
do recruiting rankings? I brought this up on a show in the past.
Yeah.
Recruiting rankings don't matter anymore.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
I agree 100% with that, Evan.
So the on threes,
5-star,
and,
Yeah.
like all that stuff.
4-star.
They'll do they'll continue to do the rankings because what it does is it's a predictor of what those services, where they think those guys.
Yeah,
will,
you're right.
Will they be a 3-year starter in college? Will they be a first-round draft pick? But what I guess specifically what I'm speaking to is the team rankings don't matter anymore. So if you have a top 3 recruiting class in 3 years, 80% of those guys might be gone.
Right.
So if you're not sold on Leonard, would you just start the feature now and start
No.
Carr? No.
You got it.
gotta
It isn't
go.
that I'm not sold
Yeah.
on him. I think he's the right choice because you don't bring a transfer in with his experience and his leadership and not start him to start somebody that has no experience.
Oh, I don't think they're gonna do that.
So what I'm interested to see though is if something happens or he does get hurt, who's first off the bench, number 1, right? And then it's just I don't know if we'll get a great gauge because the schedule is not overwhelmingly difficult.
Yeah.
Winning football games are hard, so I'm not going to say it isn't. I mean, it's
Army,
tough to,
Navy,
it's tough to
Purdue.
run the table.
Who else you got?
I'm tired of that.
Wales.
Can we get those off the schedule? Oh, that's right. We won't have anybody to play because they're all in these other conferences. So we're going to have to keep playing Army and Navy. Can we throw Air Force in there too?
Not this year.
App State. How about, I don't know.
Who else? We're playing a couple MAC teams this year.
That number will
Illinois.
probably go up in the years coming, too. There's always a Ball State.
So I don't think you're wrong. I actually think you're spot on with that analysis of recruiting. Unfortunately, Deuce Knight, is he going to be around? We don't even know, right?
Go to Texas A&M.
What? Well, I mean, that's the reality now.
Ole Miss, sorry, Ole
It's make the video, who you going to, and then who's going to pay you the most money in college to go wherever you're going to go to. I mean, that is the reality right now.
Yeah.
And who's going to develop, right? Like, who's going to – if Kirby Smart has won 3 championships with mediocre talent or whatever his quarterbacks have been, you're going to choose to go there because you're going to be in the SEC championship every single year. So I think the last question I have for you on this quarterback room, if we're doing an over-under, does Riley Leonard start over or under 5 games this year?
Over.
You think he starts the entire season?
Yeah.
He's injury prone, though.
I was going to say if his ankle holds up.
Yeah, he's injury prone.
I don't think it's going to be because of performance. I think if
And
he
then who
does
gets
it'll
it?
be because of his ankle.
Then it's
I think it'll be Angeli.
Angeli.
I just wonder how many years straight now we're going to be having this battle for Notre Dame quarterback. That's like we always have like a mediocre quarterback constantly instead of having someone like going through the system. Is there I don't know the QB coach. Is that a part of the issue why we can't keep a guy and improve a guy throughout the season?
Well,
As we go back the last 30 years, when is the last time that Notre Dame has had an all-star?
Evan Sharpley.
Jimmy Clausen. He was the number one ranked recruit.
As much as his limo that showed up to South Bend
was the
was,
number-
and
and-
right.
You think Jimmy Clausen was the best quarterback in the last 30 years for
30
Notre Dame?
years? Who is it?
Brady.
I'm not saying that.
Oh.
I'm
Probably
saying if we're
Brady.
going
I would guess it was
Brady.
Brady.
I'd pick Brady.
Yeah, I'd pick Brady.
In the last 30.
Last 30. Yeah, 20. Call 20.
Are
I don't
any
know.
of these quarterbacks?
But here, that's such a tough question.
I think it's Brady, though. I mean,
Are any of these
Ian
quarterbacks
Book,
better
Ian
than
Book
Ian
was the
Book?
all-time. I was to say he's the all-time winningest quarterback.
which is crazy. To
But
think
he
of.
had some talent.
But that's what I mean.
I mean, I like Ian Book a lot. I mean, I think he was an awesome
If we're just
quarterback.
going off straight wins and losses, he's a hard guy to say.
Do you remember
but
that
also-
Ian Book put up 33 points on whose Iowa State team? Brock Purdy's Iowa State team.
But-
He put up 33 points in a bowl game against him, by the way.
So it's
good.
tough. Like that question is tough to answer because I mean Brady had good talent around him too.
Sure.
I mean you look at
Yep.
every year that I was there, we had a tight end that played in the NFL, and we had multiple receivers that did too. Really, during those years,
Yeah.
our defense was not very good, right? And then when Clausen was there, you look who, and I was on those teams. Who did we have to throw to? Michael Floyd and Golden Tate.
Well, I mean, Ian
And
Book
Kyle
had,
Rudolph.
Ian Book had
And Tyler Eifert.
who went to the NFL, played for the Bears for a little bit, played for the Steelers.
No, not Claypool.
Yeah, Claypool.
Yeah, Chase Claypool.
Yeah, he had Claypool.
Yeah.
Can we switch gears? How is Notre Dame's defense going to be? Like we've
Really
been talking,
good.
are they going to be loaded?
Well, that's the
We-
thing
we-
is-
I mean,
Really
you know,
good.
Evan, you brought it up. We're talking about quarterbacks. How's our defense?
If it's
I mean,
spring game, we're
defensive line's good. What do we think?
Signs point to it being a really good defense.
All right.
the
And
back end of
and-
the
and
defense
what
is
did
going to be
I
really
mean,
good.
Back end is going to be good. The question mark it feels like is for the last couple decades, can you get pressure?
I think that's going to be another question this year.
Do you have a stud? You know, and I think the reason why Notre Dame had some of those, you know, it was their first run national championship, it was because they had a really good defensive line.
Yeah.
You know, Lewis Nix, Stephon Tuitt, like
Yeah.
those dudes are bad dudes. And it's been a while since there's been a collective group of bad dudes on the defensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the best teams every year. They pressure the quarterback
And those bad dudes got beat 42-0
by some really bad dudes.
They did get a couple points up.
What's that?
They got a couple points up.
Oh, did it? Okay. 14?
14 or
14,
something
yeah.
I mean, how do you recruit the guys that are on like Georgia? Those guys constantly. It's like the
That's
last
a
3 or 4
great
years,
question. I want to know
you get
how
defensive ends
those
that-
guys recruit those guys.
NIL, baby.
No,
Feed 'em- hey.
you can't use NIL as
They
an
feed them
all-covering
legacy
thing.
protein. That's what they do. They just pump them full of legacy protein, and these guys just keep coming back every year.
Hey, with it all natural, baby.
yeah, all
It's
natural.
like-
USA made. I mean, I tell you, you know.
what? No, what is that? That's a great question.
Just because you're a stupid human being doesn't mean you're a bad person. And you might be really good at football. And just because you're a really smart person doesn't mean you're a complete douchebag. and still might be okay at football.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you're saying, do you think Notre Dame could ever get past the academic issues? Is that the problem?
I think there is always going to be a level of that
Yep, for sure.
unless
For
they
sure.
completely open up the floodgates.
But it's gone even lower.
It has.
I mean, you're looking over the last 5
however-
years.
I mean, it's my alma mater.
It's the Notre Dame guy, right?
There's a different vibe on those SEC campuses, so I think you're just going to lose out on some of those guys consistently. That's just my opinion, and I don't think that's ever going to change. And it's it's part of the beauty of Notre Dame because it does bring in a certain type of athlete.
Super first class people. When you meet these athletes, I think we had when we were at Food Cultivate.
Yeah,
we met
Cultivate.
some, great guys.
And that's not to say there aren't
Super
those guys at
professional.
the SEC schools too. It isn't, but I think just the overall student base versus. I mean, I went and tailgated at some SEC schools.
What was that like?
I don't know. My
The
wife-
camera's right there.
I want to say my wife looked at me and said, "It's a good thing you didn't go to an SEC school."
It's probably the same reason my parents were like, "Yeah, you're not going to ASU."
My boss went to ASU.
It's a great party school.
Yeah.
Great party school. Boy, this has been a lively discussion about Notre Dame. All right, with all that being said, it's preseason. We're going to get you guys on for sure mid-season, after the season. So let's bookmark this. How many wins does Notre Dame get, and do they make the playoff as a 5 to 8 seed, meaning they host a playoff game this year?
They would.
Yes. If they're a 5 through 8 seed, you
Fully
host the first week of the playoffs. Notre Dame Stadium, December 14th.
That sounds absolutely
Live,
awful, by the way.
live Euros in the background.
December 14th.
We talking about
Yeah,
Beer,
December.
South
No, it's
sports.
the, sorry,
That's what we do.
December 8th. December 8th,
Oh,
Notre Dame
great.
Stadium. The bleachers are going to be cold.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Senior game's always cold, let alone.
Yeah, those were terrible.
So what do you think?
I'm saying 11-1.
11-1, wow.
I think they lose to A&M but beat Florida State. I think they're 11-1 and they're the 5 seed.
Okay.
What was
I
my
like that
pick
pick.
last year? 8-4?
Yeah, I think you.
I think you said 9-3 this year.
Yeah.
Did you say 9-3 this year?
I think so.
You still go 9-3? Oh, well, we didn't get Michael's take on it though.
Yeah.
I go 10-2. They're gonna blow one of the teams that
Easy teams?
Yeah. Like
Morehead
usual.
State or-
recently, just because there's no confidence at the QB position. I think.
I'm actually curious. What does Vegas have? Vegas is always dialed in. It seems with Notre Dame, where they set it
I'm
right in between.
I'm going
the
8-4 for the Irish.
8-4?
8-4.
Dang.
Hold
Who are
on.
your 4
hold on.
losses?
Hold
Yeah.
on. We're
Pull
going to
the
bring up the
schedule.
Notre Dame schedule right now.
And I will tell you that here's why. Like that quarterback thing's gonna be a bigger deal. I do believe C.J. Carr will be the long-term solution. I think Riley's gonna bridge the gap temporarily, but I'm going 8-4.
Whoa.
I think
This-
that happens if they start hopping from QB to QB because they can't
Absolutely.
get established.
What's going to happen is you've got some talent in that QB position. Riley gets injured. Maybe it's a little slight sprain. He's had that ankle's a big deal. Like he's been an injury-prone guy, right?
All right, let's go through the schedule.
Okay.
Texas A&M,
Loss.
Northern Illinois Huskies,
That's a W.
at Purdue.
That's a loss.
Boy, I don't know.
That's a loss.
I mean, no,
Purdue's going to come back, buddy. New coach.
buddy, Drew Brees ain't walking out of that
All right.
tunnel, okay? I'm sorry. All right, who else? Miami of Ohio at Notre Dame.
That's a win.
Louisville at Notre Dame.
That's a win.
Stanford at Notre Dame.
That is a loss to me.
Okay, so that's, how many is that?
That's my 3. Yeah, I got one
You
more.
want Notre Dame at Georgia Tech at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
They're going to win that.
Okay, Navy versus Notre Dame at MetLife Field.
That's a win.
Florida State at Notre Dame.
I actually think they're going to upset Florida State, even though everybody's like, sucking off Florida State. I think that'll be the one game that through the the quarterback controversy that they show up and actually win. Seriously,
Virginia at Notre Dame.
that's a win,
The Shamrock Series, Notre Dame versus Army.
dude. Got to win that one. Always win the Shamrock.
And then, so your 3 losses.
Yeah,
So 9-3. 9-3.
Vegas has it set at 10.5.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And you have 9-3 still? Maybe 10-2.
10-2.
10-2.
All right.
I'm with
we got
you,
11-1,
Nate.
10-2, 10-2. I'm saying 9-3.
I'm with Nate. I think 11-1.
Okay,
I think
11-1. Wow.
The losses to
Don't
Texas
do
A&M.
it, Vahid. Don't do it.
I'm not saying undefeated.
Oh, okay, I thought you said. I'm even gonna.
I'm like noted for picking Notre Dame
Yeah.
undefeated every
They're
year.
going all the way.
This is the year, buddy.
This
This
is
is
the
the year.
I think they could. I think they could this year.
If they,
A lot of
if,
things would,
if.
I'm not saying they're going to. I think a lot of things would have to go right, and I think it's because, like we've talked about, the
Yeah.
schedule. The
Yeah.
schedule's
See,
not
that I get scared to sound like a Cowboys fan, like delusional.
Oh, I've sounded like a Cowboys fan the last like 3 years, maybe 8 years, honestly, since covering the team. But honestly, I think like if you can get it right after you play Texas A&M, I just think is a bad matchup. Football
Yeah,
is going on
football's
behind
on, yeah.
us, by the way.
Yeah, we got
Euro
the Euros
Cup.
in the background.
So
1-0 Argentina at the moment.
if you're able to turn it around, I just think Kyle Field, bad matchup against the Duke head coach from last year
Yeah.
that Riley Leonard played for. That's a bad matchup. But if you're able to win that somehow, if your quarterback's able to stay healthy,
Is the offense good enough to win every game, or is the defense going to be able to offset?
I don't know about the running game, honestly. Like, the running game is a big question mark in my mind. Like, are they going to be so pass-heavy that they become a one-dimensional team? I don't know.
And they've got some new faces on the offensive line.
New faces on the O-line.
It's always a challenge at the college level.
Tell you what, though.
Yep.
I tell you what, though. Their defensive coordinator, Al Golden, has given them a chance to win every single game. I like him. I do. But I think he's gone after this year. So, all right.
signed a new contract.
Well,
Notre Dame,
That
they don't do that.
yeah. So, let's switch gears to Michigan
Oh, finally. We can talk about something fun.
for like 5
Yeah.
seconds.
5 seconds, all right.
All right, where's Michigan at? J.J. McCarthy leaves. You're getting a whole new facelift. You're just coming off a national championship. How do you feel as a Michigan fan right now?
You know, I mean, obviously, that's an emotional roller coaster. Go 15-0. I think Harbaugh got a tattoo. It's the stupidest looking tattoo I've ever seen in my life.
I think one of the players designed it, or they were
It's
the
so
player.
stupid.
The player
But, I
did
mean,
it.
you know what? Hey, kudos to the coach because he did hold up his end of the bargain, right?
Yeah,
he
I would
got
at
it.
least design something.
I know. I
cool,
would have,
though.
get it with some like Detroit
Yeah.
graphics or something. I don't know, but I think there's a lot of changes at Michigan right now. Sharon Williams leading the charge, stolen a few key players, coaching staff wise from Ohio State. That's probably on purpose, I'm guessing. I don't know what they hired. What's the newest chick they just hired? Like, I don't know, player operations. But they've stolen like the defensive
happy.
coordinator from Ohio State, and the new chick got it. She's like, I don't know, she's like player performance or player, I don't know, happy officer or something like that. But I don't know.
How do I get that job?
Yeah, right. Here's what I'll tell you. I think Michigan's going to have every time you change after coming off the high that we did, 15-0, right? It's what every college football team wants. I mean, I remember as we, talked through every podcast last year, and I was getting more excited. I'm like, we're itching. I'm like, hey, it's going to happen. I mean, and you guys were shaking. I don't know. But, it happened. I mean, as a fan, last time, 1987, I was a kid back then, so to have it when I was 45 years old, now I'm a grown man that owns a brewery.
Are you going to see another one in your lifetime?
Me and Aiden talked about that. I said the probability is probably not with the landscape of how college football has changed. I do not believe it. I told him, I said, but you have to understand, your Papa will pass away. That's what I told him. Probably the next time Michigan has a chance of winning it. I said it takes years and years. I mean, you look at Harbaugh was there 9 years before we did it, and in years 5, 6, and 7 he was getting like he's out, he's done, and everybody's like hating on him, and then we came back through all the controversy. He coached half the season, and Sharon Williams coached the other. I hope the best for Sharon Williams. It's a hard path to follow, coming off a national championship and expecting great things.
And losing a lot.
Losing a lot.
You look how many guys
how many
got drafted.
seniors are? Yeah, I mean, what was there? Actually, NFL set a record for
yeah, it was
20
like-
was it
it
23
was
draft
something
picks.
crazy.
That's the highest of any collegiate athlete ever in the history of the NCAA. Most draft picks. And so I just think it's a really tough go. If we finish, I'm gonna stick with my 9-3 since Notre Dame's 9-3, Michigan's 9-3.
Yep.
I'm going with 9-3. If they can do it through some adversity, and there's going to be some hiccups along the way, that I think that defense is going to be solid. I'm going to tell you what. I've been texting you guys lately. I think the defense will be in the top 3, top 5 defensively, and I'm super excited about that. We got some big question marks, just like Notre Dame does at the QB position in Orgy, and everybody's saying Orgy's the future, and obviously there's some other. Tuttle is another guy that's could be a stud. You never know. I mean, and it's hard, but I think that it's just hard to repeat at a high level a national championship back to back, and I just don't think it's happened this year. I'm going 9-3 Michigan.
So you lost 2 key guys, right?
Absolutely.
Who's gonna? What about the running back position?
Yeah, great question. Yeah,
they've got
our running back's loaded. Yeah, Edwards is still there.
He's good.
He's a stud. He's super fast. Yeah, I mean,
like
obviously
Edwards.
Blake Corum. Truth be told, I did buy a signed Blake Corum card.
12-0, baby.
I helped pay for his NIL contract. I think it was like $239. Don't tell my
Really?
wife.
Wow.
Yeah, $239. He signed it.
Nice.
Maybe I'll bring it on the show next time so we can
Probably
see it.
should.
Yeah, probably. It'd be good for PR.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Edwards is a stud.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
yeah,
super
Michigan's
quick.
loaded at the running back position.
And something I think, I'm with you. I think it's going to be a tough year. I mean, you look at the Big Ten, the number of teams that are in that conference, the teams that just came there from the West Coast that are they're good, right?
Yeah, they're good.
You got a stacked conference for sure.
Yeah.
But there is definitely something, even with those pieces that left,
Yeah.
and with those pieces that were drafted or left, you have to believe, obviously draft eligible or senior laden teams, but those underclassmen watch those guys do their business day in
Sure.
and day
They
out,
knew what was going on.
okay?
Absolutely.
And how last season went, it could have been pretty bad, with things surrounding Harbaugh. Those guys bonded together and got real close.
Yep.
I don't think I don't want that to be missed. But you're right. I think it's going to be a grinded out year, and I think that team, they may have some growing pains.
Yep.
But if they're able to push through in some of those moments, like they saw this past season, they may still win 10 games.
Yeah.
But
I'm more-
it's a tough. I think it'll be a tough road for sure.
I'm more worried about next year than this year. Obviously, Ohio State's on a hedge. They want our heads. With old boy on his chopping block. I mean, losing 3 times to Michigan.
if he loses this year, he's
Hey,
gotta
where's
be
Lou
gone.
Holtz?
Yeah, where's Lou Holtz?
Yeah, I just
That
think-
was literally the worst Notre Dame game I've ever seen in my
I'll
life.
tell you what a poor
That was
leadership.
brutal,
what a
man.
poor leadership comment on national television. Just shows the type
Where
of
is Lou Holtz?
Yeah, where's Lou Holtz? Where's he at
Did you
now?
like that? Did you like that? Did you think it was good?
Come on, man. That was the worst comment ever. All right, that's how it is. I'm done.
But also too,
Don't
I
get
just
me
have a
started on
problem with-
Ryan
hey,
Day,
can I
man.
get,
don't
my
like Ryan
5
Day.
seconds in for Michigan?
You did.
All right.
He's one of those guys. He's got a face. I just don't like it.
You
Got a
think they
face.
can make the playoffs at 9?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Michigan. Yeah, I do believe that. Yeah, I think.
Nope.
In that
Oh,
conference?
Evan says no.
You don't
No.
think so? In that conference, they go 9-3 because that.
I think
How
they
many
lose-
9-3
I think they
teams
lose
are there
4
gonna be?
games.
4 games. Yeah. So 8-4.
Michigan. So I think we went over the schedule. We can go over the schedule because
So who do they play? That's
they
Ohio State.
play Oregon, Ohio State, Wisconsin.
Maybe.
I think
Yeah,
they have
maybe. Yeah.
Michigan Wolverines.
They can
I mean, Ohio State's at Ohio State. They have a vengeance countdown calendar on their
So,
freaking wall.
Let's just say, Notre Dame's going to get in. So what? You got 11 more teams get?
Yeah.
There's 12.
SEC
And then you'll have four. How many conferences are they pulling from then? 4, right?
4.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah. Yep.
And,
Okay, so that's-
and a couple independents.
So that's 5.
Yep.
So we're at
Who
you
are
have
the 4? Because they're not pulling from the
SEC,
Pac-12 anymore.
ACC.
ACC, Big 10,
Big
Big
10.
12,
Big
Big
12.
12.
Not the
Fresno
Mountain
State,
West.
Buddy, that's a W.
Texas.
That's a tough one.
That's a
I'm
loss.
actually going to call that a loss.
Well,
yeah.
that was our sleeper pick, I think, for this
Yeah.
year. Was Texas.
Texas.
Texas, yeah.
Arkansas State,
There's a farmer.
2-1.
2-1.
USC at home, which is a Big 10 team now.
3-1.
Right.
I think they lose that game.
Oh, do you really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
At Minnesota. No, at home against Minnesota
4-1.
Where's that game against USC?
in Ann Arbor.
They win that game.
at Washington in Seattle.
That's a tough one. Time change always screws things up. That's a one
That's
of
a
those.
loud stadium too.
Yeah,
That's one of the
it's-
loudest stadiums I've ever
That's
been in.
that's
Let's go
a
4 and
tough
2.
game.
Let's go 4 and 2.
Brand new coach though for Washington.
Yeah.
So you don't know.
Yeah, never know.
At Illinois,
6 and
Should
2.
be a win.
Michigan State
They're a wreck.
at home,
They're a wreck, man.
They still have a football program.
Oregon in Ann Arbor.
Tough. Probably
I
one
like
of the.
Oregon.
Hey, yeah, that's a tough one, buddy. It's up there.
At Indiana.
Loss.
But they'll have a new quarterback too, though, right? Oregon.
Yep.
Yeah.
At Indiana.
Win.
Northwestern.
Win.
At Ohio State.
I'm gonna go on the record, and
Dude.
I'll call it now.
No way.
Man.
What are we betting?
Oh, I mean, I'm ready to bet a sizable amount on this one.
FanDuel Sports.
3 years.
The Heat
How many years has it been?
BSR Media is ready to bet.
Is it been 3 years or
Yeah.
2 years? 3 years in a row.
3 years in a row? They're gonna beat them, buddy.
And this would be fourth.
This would be the
Before.
fourth
No,
year.
no way. No, I'm willing to bet.
They're gonna win that game.
Who did Ohio State lose? The QB?
Yeah.
And he wasn't very good.
He wasn't good.
He went to
yeah.
Syracuse.
Right.
They spent 13 million in NIL transfers. I mean, it's something stupid.
So
to
whoever
get.
they have is gonna be an
They're
upgrade.
out for a vengeance.
Maybe.
And it's, I don't know.
They got a who is their quarterback? I think they got a transfer.
Yeah,
I
they
know.
did.
What is FanDuel odds of that game right now?
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know,
should've
it's a
got
little early for that one.
it. Yeah, it is. Hey,
I'm willing to bet a lot right now.
I'm calling win. Massive upset.
So you got 2 losses.
Yeah, 9-3. I said 9-3.
I think that's pretty bold.
Okay.
9-3, but they beat Ohio State.
9-3, and they beat Ohio State.
And
yeah.
don't
That'd
make
be
it
a
into
great
the playoffs.
season then.
Yeah, that's all you do. Go 9-3, beat Ohio State. You're winning.
All right, before we close up shop here, let's talk about some of this stuff that we've got right here. A little protein blend from Legacy Performance. And what's in the little tub, guys? Is that the pre-workout?
Yep.
That's
Can you
our pre-workout.
You want to dry scoop it right now? See what happens?
Hey, do it right before bed. This is not
Yeah.
this is not the stem-free.
Give me a dry cracker too.
Probably goes well in a double creamus, I'm guessing. You know?
He does. He does.
Give it a try.
Yeah, we should.
So talk about the kind of the different products you have and what each one is.
Yeah, so we have the first one is our Legacy Protein Blend. Like I said, we're an all-natural company, so it's sweetened with stevia and monk fruit, no artificial flavoring, no dyes, anything in it. This is a grass-fed whey casein blend, so I don't know if you guys know the difference between whey and casein.
No.
No, sir.
So it's
You have to
2-part whey, 1-part casein. Whey is a quick-absorbing protein, great post-workout, gets to the muscles quickly, recovery, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Casein is a slower digesting protein, so it's great before bed. So something must have happened.
Yeah. It's a close game.
Yeah, so we wanted to combine the two, right? So it's
Yeah.
like I said, it's 2 parts whey, 1 part casein. So
Yeah.
it's a great all-around protein. The whey is a grass-fed whey, so it's not. It's obviously still dairy. It's not dairy-free, but it's a lot easier on your stomach. We've had a lot of people who've talked about having like dairy intolerances,
Yeah.
and they don't. I'm not saying if you're lactose intolerant,
Yeah.
you're not going to have an issue.
Yeah.
But the mass majority of people we've talked to who do take our products, including one of our owners who is lactose intolerant, does not upset their stomachs.
Okay.
So, a lot easier on your stomach. Next product we have is our Legacy pre-workout. This also, backtrack. The Legacy protein blend is sweetened with stevia and monk fruit. The pre-workout is sweetened with just stevia, but the same concept. It's an all-natural, no artificial sweeteners, no flavors, no dyes or anything in it. Our labels are completely transparent, so everything that's in the product is on the label. A lot of these companies, like I said, some of them are getting away from it now, but a big problem in the past are these proprietary blends where they'll kind of tell you what's in it, but you got no idea how much it is. So it's either can be way overdosed, which not likely. A lot of times it's way underdosed. So a lot of those ingredients, they're just putting way below what's even effective to be in your body. So one of my favorite ingredients in here in this pre-workout is the alpha GPC. It's great cognitive benefits, so for like focus and that kind of thing in the gym. a lot of people nowadays, even these gamers, are taking these pre-workouts because of the focus that a lot of them will bring you.
So that probably could help me on one of my brew days in the morning at 4 a.m.
Absolutely.
A couple scoops. Yeah.
There you go.
Maybe I need a couple
Absolutely.
samples. I'll try it out.
Yeah, I mean, I know somebody that they were they had ADHD and like they were taking Adderall. They actually substituted that Adderall and took like I'm not saying to do this, but he was essentially taking pre-workout, but like a quarter scoop of it, and using that. Now it's kind of helping him, balance things out and help keep that focus.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And like he said, no dyes. So when we were at the Arnold Classic this year, back in March, we had both our vanilla and our chocolate as samples for people in the tubs, and we had them right next to each other, and people were asking, well, they look the exact same. It's like, well, there's no dyes in this. We're not trying to, a vanilla look like our chocolate.
Yeah.
We're not going to put something in there to make it look like it's something artificial.
Yep.
So that was kind of a big point. It's like, hey, taste them both. You're going to see a difference, and just getting their hands on it and tasting it made a world of difference. And the same thing, we're not putting dyes in our pre-workout either. So because of the beetroot, that's extract that's in our pre-workout, you're going to see a red tint. We have a grape, it's not going to be purple. We have a sour apple, it's not going to be green.
Yeah.
But it's just going to be a red tint because of that beetroot extract.
Awesome.
Yeah, and the beetroot on that, cool thing about that too is a lot of guys, like the bodybuilder type guys, are looking for that famous pump in the gym. And
Yep.
That beetroot powder is huge in opening your blood vessels, helping blood flow to the muscles, and I'm telling you, I've taken a lot of pre-workouts in my day, and I'm not just saying this because I'm one of the owners of the company. Obviously, I have to say it, but I'm telling you, that's one of the best, hardest-hitting pre-workouts.
Yeah.
And it's all natural, and that's a big deal to us. We want to be natural. We also want to be effective. So we don't. A lot of people, the natural thing scares some people off. It's natural. It's not going to be effective, right? But we want to educate the industry that you can be careful with what you put in your body, but you can still take a product that is super effective and works.
Just have everything you need, nothing you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of one thing I say a lot of is just take a look. There's a benefit to each of these ingredients here. We're not putting crap in there just to put it in there to enhance a flavor. It's like, is it going to taste exactly like a grape or a sour apple? No. Sure. But like we're not going to sacrifice that natural aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe finally just talk about the partnership with Evan here, and Evan's an ambassador for, new ambassador for Legacy Protein. You guys just announced it last week, and talk about, Evan, maybe talk about that partnership and why it's important to you.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of the things that they're talking about, like I've experienced, I probably, tried every supplement under the sun over the last 20, 25 years, dating back to, I think, when I took NO Explode before, like, one of my first college workouts.
The Jack 3D?
I did, well.
Was that FDA regulated?
Those are banned now. At least the original.
I had some of the original Jack 3D with, I think there was trace elements of methamphetamines in those. And talk about a good pump.
I had buddies that I know were in the military, and before they'd go out on operations, they'd take that NO.
Really?
Then they reformulated the Jack 3D, and it just wasn't the same. So I mean, for me, tried pretty much everything. Kind of had gotten to the point where I wasn't doing much supplementation at all. I was taking some vitamin D3, just especially during the winter months when you're not seeing a lot of sun. And but other than that, there within what I was doing, there was not much supplementation.
Yeah.
And around the new year, really, and I think you had reached out to me, or maybe BJ did, or somebody did, even 6 months prior, and it was kind of on my radar. So I was kind of paying attention to what was going on. But, dating back this past January, as you guys know, kind of started to make some shifts in just my approach to diet and nutrition, and, got my hands on the protein initially, and just fell in love because it fit perfectly with what I was trying to accomplish. Where I couldn't get something with my diet, I had a go-to at all times of the day.
Yeah.
So like for me, I just got the stack recently, so I'm doing 10 grams of creatine every day. For that timing for me doesn't matter. I just get it in the system and it goes. I know there's been a lot of studies over the years on dosing, when to dose, but really where those studies are showing now is it doesn't matter when you take it. that 5 gram to 10 gram, kind of depending on your muscle type and body structure, is going to be the sweet spot. So just take it. I usually put it in some electrolytes that I'm drinking throughout the day, or honestly, I'll put it in my pre-workout so I don't forget. And then I've been taking the pre-workout now probably the last 2 months. And like I said, I think it's twofold for me. Like, I have a very high caffeine tolerance, very high, like not great. And I'm sure you maybe can attest to with early morning brews.
I drink Rise every morning.
It's
I probably need to switch.
Switch to this.
I was gonna say I need to switch.
You should.
You should. No dyes.
It's silly, how where I am on that now.
Yeah.
So I love what's in this, and also part of it, not all the time, but like there's a psychological aspect 100% to taking pre-workout too.
There is.
Well, I'm definitely gonna try some.
And I want to speak to the part about what's on the label is, I remember watching a documentary, Bigger, Faster, Stronger, and it's about how the FDA doesn't regulate supplement companies so they can put in you mentioned the proprietary blends, right? And that's something that they're doing, which is awesome, is everything that you see on there is what's in it.
Yeah.
Like, you look at X, Y, and Z companies, again, let's say we rewind 10 years ago. Let's say you and I want to start a supplement company, and we put, all right, we're going to put some of this in here and this in here, but then we put in our proprietary blend. It's like Evan's Special Juice.
Yeah.
Who knows what's in it? Could just be rice powder. You could put rice powder in pills and tell them that it's something else. So that's what I appreciate about this is, there's the transparency and the honesty. I knew exactly what I was getting. And specific to this too, the grass-fed whey and the casein, again, perfect for me at any time of the day. So what I do is, the first time that I take protein is to start my morning. So usually my breakfast to start the day is 2 raw eggs. I'll put some butter in. I'll put a scoop of the protein.
Roll the videotape.
And I put it in my coffee. And I put it in my coffee. Yeah.
Muscles are popping.
It's and the egg cheat is nice because that's really been a big game changer for me. So twofold, me trying to hit my protein intake on a daily basis has been the legacy protein and then just raw eggs. And it's been awesome. Like, I mean, it's an easy way to feed an extra 100 grams of protein into your diet on a weekly basis. And then what's slowly now becoming my favorite snack is Greek yogurt. A scoop or 2 of the protein, so that ranges anywhere between 24 to 48 grams of protein, plus the Greek yogurt. So I'm getting a snack that could be over 50 grams of protein. Wow. And then Power Crunch, if you're familiar with Power Crunch. I really like wafers. Okay, I'm a texture guy too, so I'll actually take a Power Crunch bar and break it up, put that in 2, and then fresh fruit. And I simply do the wafers because I love the texture of it. So again, I'm at 50 to 60 grams of protein in a snack, which is my dessert. But
no carbs throughout the day.
What are they called?
Wafers?
Power Crunch.
Power Crunch. They are super low in carbs.
They are.
Are they?
Oh, yeah.
So that's why we grab them. They actually have a.
Is it Power?
Power Crunch.
It's
Power
Crunch.
Like Walmart.
And then Core Power is like if I'm on the move and I don't have protein close to me. The Core Power Fairlife.
Oh yeah.
Like the 42
grams.
Yeah, that's usually my go-to. Like if I'm on the road, like traveling, I'll do that. But again, so low carb intake. And right now, again, everybody has different goals and kind of what they're trying to accomplish with their diet. But like for me right now, it's high protein, high fat, low carb. I'm still getting really over 100 carbs per day, but it's fruits and veggies. So like my split today, I think I was 330 grams of protein. I actually ripped one of the coffee, egg, and protein on the way here. And then I'm around 200 to 225 grams of fat and around 100 carbs.
Evan, if somebody wants to try it, where do you go to get this? I mean, obviously,
you can
local
go to their
Elkhart, support local.
For sure.
Where's it at?
LegacyPerformance.com is the website.
Yep.
Awesome.
Cool.
You can also find us on Instagram.
Yep.
Legacy Performance. If you just search that, we'll first page to pop up. So, yeah, we're a local company out of Elkhart, Indiana as well.
That's great.
So.
That was something else I love too. I mean,
Yeah,
our conversation
Elkhart's
always on support and local,
absolutely.
and
for sure.
it just aligns with I think a lot of things we're doing too. So.
Absolutely.
Sports
It's
beer
an
and
Elkhart
protein.
family right here.
Yeah, real quick.
Sure.
We were talking about the ingredients in here, and I just want to read our ingredient profile on,
Do it.
on the
Yeah.
protein. A lot of these companies, the ingredient profile is 20, 30 lines long.
Yep.
I can't pronounce half the things that are in it. Our ingredient profile in this protein: whey protein isolate, casein protein, natural flavor, sea salt, stevia leaf extract, monk fruit extract, and sunflower lecithin. That's it. That's why that's not a
Triple that with some of the other protein.
Oh, more
companies
than
out
Oh, for sure.
More than
Oh,
that.
for sure.
More than that.
Cool. Super cool.
Well, we love it, guys. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
thanks for having us.
Hey,
Yeah,
thank you
it's
so
really
much for
Next up
sponsoring
is
the
a
podcast.
protein beer.
I hope you had a good time. You
Had a
guys,
blast.
hey, you
This
guys
is
fit
fun.
right in.
Even though you're
yeah.
Domer fans,
I
yeah.
hope you invite us back. I'll be
sure.
here, so this is
Evan.
fun.
He'll have a protein beer waiting.
Yeah. You never know, man. I mean,
Let's put some of this in a stout.
Yeah, that'll go right in the boil. Well, yeah, that'd be good. Good marketing. You never know.
Evan,
Post-workout carbs.
Notre Dame's going 12.
There you go.
And so the Bears are going to win a Super Bowl.
Just for that comment, Evan, you can have the chain today, buddy. Yeah,
Show
there
the
you
boys
go.
what it is.
Yeah. So, we have this.
Every show.
It's a tradition now where we have a gold chain, like the turnover chain, but it's like the West Wind chain.
Yeah.
So we have like if you say something good and funny and whatever,
I love it.
you
Look at
deserve
that
the
thing.
chain.
It's blinging
So,
on you, Evan.
Nice job, buddy.
Thanks.
Guys, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cheers,
for
guys.
having
Yeah,
us.
this is the Varsity Brews Podcast. Check out Legacy Performance. Check out West Wind Brewery. Of course, we are an Elkhart family right here building something good. We want to build it with you. So, varsitybrewspodcast.com as well to get your merch. We do have merch, by the way.
Yes,
Got to get you
nice.
some of that merch.
Nice. Yeah, look at
Oh, yeah, he's got the hat
I
on.
have a new NIL contract right here. VSR.
On that note, you may be quarterback next year. We'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.